Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my students. Okay, we will continue our lesson with client-side scripting versus server-side scripting topic. So I am TS Dr. Rashida Mohta. So we will discuss whether what is the client-side scripting versus server-side scripting. Okay, basically, in this session, I will discuss only two parts. Which is the first one is introduction to the client-side scripting. We will learn what is the client-side definition. What is the difference between client and server-side. And then why you need to learn about client-side. And then what are the languages that we use for the client-side. The next part, which is part 2, we will learn about introduction to JavaScript. So basically in our syllabus, we will learn about the JavaScript language. So now we look at the first one, which is the introduction. So why you need to learn client-side. And then what is the client-side scripting? So basically this is the summarization of the comparison of the server-side scripting and also the client-side scripting. So client-side, you can also refer to this link. So this is actually the link that I refer to to get the comparison. So the basic concept of server-side, which is it will work at the back end of the client, means that user cannot see what happened in the back. But for the client side, means that if you look at the terms client, so it means that it works front end. Means user can see the scripting language that we write. The instruction. In terms of the processing, so when we talk about server side, of course we need to have the server interaction. And then about the client, so does not need the interaction of the server. So we can have the just using the user configuration or user computer. So some of the languages that related to the server side, which is the PHP, ASP.NET, Ruby, Rails, Confucian, and Python, and etc. While for the client side, we have HTML. So you have learned before this about HTML. And then we also have the CSS, but in our syllabus we don't learn about the CSS. And then we will learn the JavaScript in this topic. In terms of the effect for the server side, so could effects customize the web page. So server side scripting is very powerful, so it will customize or give the dynamic elements to your web design. While for the client side, which is it not affect the server, but the benefit of the client side, which is it will reduce the load to the server, so it will make your web design much faster. In terms of the security, so client side is actually is insecure because user can see the scripting and we cannot hide the scripting. But for the server side, relatively, or in general, we can say that it is more secure than client side. Next. So we look at the details on the what is client side. So basically, client side is, as I mentioned, perform to generate a code that run on the client browser. So means that when you view the source, you can see the browser. So we don't need the server side processing. So that's why the processing or the load of the server of the web will be much faster. So it plays inside the HTML document. So most of the time, for example JavaScript, so you need to have the HTML document, then you put inside that. And then it use basically in general the purpose of client side or the objective of client side to examine the user's form for the errors before submitting, and for changing the content according to the user input. So this is the languages that we have for the client side, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For while the server side scripting, which is technique of programming for producing the code which can run software on the server side. So in simple words, any scripting or programming that can run on the web server is known as a server-side scripting. So this is the languages that we learn. but in our syllabus we only learn the PHP. Okay, so the function of the server side, which is give the dynamic, okay, the changes of the website content response. For example, you want to have databases, okay, you want to save your record document, or you want to develop the web-based system. Okay, so most of the time we will need to have the server side scripting to have the function or the operations, right? So for the server side, we will learn, okay, the later, okay, after we have finished learn about the client side scripting, which is the JavaScript. Okay. Okay, next, okay, we will look at the differences. Okay, so as I have explained, okay, at the first part, okay, about the comparison. So basically, okay, this is almost same as what we have compared in the table. Okay, this is the key differences or the major differences between server side and client. So server side, okay, you must bear in your mind that it used at the back end, so where the source code is hidden. Okay, while the client side used at the front end, where the user can see the source code through the browser when you view the page source code. Okay. Okay, and then when a server side scripting is processed, it communicates to the server, but the client side is not involved the server interaction. Okay, for the client scripting language, involve language, for example, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, while for the server side scripting language, PHP, ASP.NET, Ruby, CodeFusion, Python, C#, Java, and C++. So server-side scripting useful in customizing web page content, okay, and then give the dynamic values to the web design website. Okay, while for the client-side scripting, only effectively minimize the load to the server. That is only the benefit of the client side. Okay, and then in terms of the security, so the server side is more secure compared to the client side scripting language. So this is basically the design, okay, of the client side, okay, architecture. So this is your browser. So you can imagine you are using Google Chrome, and then you can view, okay, your, for example, website, your ITM website. Okay, and then you type in the URL address. Okay, so it will find the URL address, and then they will find the web server where is the your ITM website. Okay, where is the location? Okay, and then this is the source code. So we assume that the UITM website using the PHP scripting. Okay, after that it will execute the PHP script. Okay, because PHP script is on the server, so you need to have the server first. Okay, so after that it will execute the server the scripting. Okay, then it will give the output. So basically the HTML output to the user's computer. So from the server it will pass what you want to view. For example, the home page of the UITM website. Okay, and then in the web browser, okay, which is the user's computer, on the user's computer, so you can see the output, which is the home page interface. Okay, so this is basically where you can have your client side and also the server side. So client side means that this one, okay, your user's computer. Okay, so for the client server side, which is the server computer. So you can imagine that actually we have both two computers, okay, but one is you are using as a user's computer, the other one is a server computer where you cannot see, okay, where you do not know where is the location of the server computer. Okay, next. Okay, why you need to learn client-side programming? So this is some of the reason, okay, or the factors that influence the use of the client side. For example, okay, in terms of usability, so you can modify a page much faster because you are not involving the server. Okay, And then efficiency, can make small quick changes to page without waiting to the server. Okay, and then for the event-driven means that you want to have the user interaction, user click the mouse or the keyboard for user to respond. Okay, so it will respond much faster. Okay, while for the server side, okay, in terms why you use server side, of course there are so many benefits using the server side. One of them is security, can access server private, okay, data secure, okay, and then compatibility, so it much compatible because browser issue is not one of the issue of the server side. Okay, and then it is more powerful in terms of the dynamic concept because we can connect to the database. Okay, we can change the web page content and so on. Okay, so now we move to the part 2, which is I will introduce to you a new language for the web design, which is the JavaScript. So in this session, we only learn very basic about JavaScript, okay, which is the syntax, very basic syntax, how you can use JavaScript, okay, and then comments, how you can write comments using JavaScript language, how you can use keywords, okay, variables and data types in JavaScript, escape sequence, output operations. So if you look at these items, so basically it is almost same as what you have learned in programming language, for example Java, C++. Okay, so we will look at the first part, which is introduction, before we go to the coding or the scripting language. Okay, bear in your mind, okay, even though this is JavaScript, but it is not Java. Though if you come back to the if you look at the syntax, okay, it almost same as the Java, but it is not Java. So we can say that JavaScript is actually the lightweight, okay, programming language. So Java is full featured of programming, okay, but JavaScript is for the Java web application can interact with that. Okay, so JavaScript is an interpreted client-side event-based object-oriented scripting language that can use to add dynamic interactivity to your web page. So JavaScript basically is designed for the web development application. Okay, so event-based here refers to the JavaScript ability to run certain bits of code when a specific event occurs. Okay, what is event here is, for example, you want to submit something, you want to click, so it will go to the or it will process what you want to have, okay, what you want to do. A link being clicked, okay, or an image being pointed at by a mouse pointer. Okay, where you can use JavaScript? Okay, where you can use JavaScript? So, for example, you can use for special effect, to create special effects. Okay, for example, you want to have the change of your cursor. Okay, you want to have background effects, okay, for your browser. Okay, you want to have image effect. Okay, for example, you want to have sliders, okay, headers and so on. Okay, and then you can also use JavaScript for validation forms. Okay, make sure that user enter the information correctly. However, as I mentioned in HTML5, okay, actually we have the or the validation is already embedded in the HTML5. So that's why some of the validation form, okay, we don't use the JavaScript anymore. Okay, but before we have HTML5, so we use the JavaScript to validate the form information. Okay, then we have the browser compatibilities. Okay, so JavaScript can detect the browser and also the compatibilities. Okay, and then JavaScript also can custom pages. Okay, you can change some of the pages, okay, or the website. Okay, so this is the differences between Java and also the JavaScript. Okay, so Java you need to compile because it is a programming language. So that's why we use terms compile to check the errors, okay, and also to get the output. Okay, while JavaScript, okay, is we say that it is interpreted, not the compile, okay, in terms of you to in order for you to find the output. Okay, and then for Java, use for backend. Okay, so means that you just cannot see the coding, because programming language normally we cannot see the coding. Okay, but JavaScript user can see the code, okay, because it is front end. Okay, and then for Java language, okay, execute in the JVM or in the browser. Okay, but JavaScript execute in the browser. Okay, Java allows better security. Okay, but JavaScript lack of the security as we compare to the server side also. Okay. Okay, Java static type checking. Okay, means that you are using your compiler to check the errors, but JavaScript is very dynamic type checking. Okay. Okay, Java language syntax similar to C++. Okay, but for JavaScript, syntax is similar to C language. Okay, and then Java require the JDK. So what is JDK? Is actually you need to have the compiler, or you need to have the software to write the code and then to compile, to check error, and then give you the output. Okay, but for the JavaScript, okay, how you write JavaScript code very easy using any text editor, and then you save as the JS or HTML. Okay, and then we have the various for Java language used for various application. Okay, you can have systems, okay, on the offline. Okay, but for JavaScript, purposely for the web design. Okay, where you use together with your browser. Okay, next. Okay, now we move to the code. Okay, what is the JavaScript code is about? Okay, so basically, before I show you the complete set of your JavaScript code, so we look at the comments that we have in JavaScript. Okay, of course, class, okay, comments are important. Comments are important. Why I repeat 3 times? Because adding comments to your code is always good practice. Okay, as the complexity of your script grows, comments help you understand their structure when you come to view the code at a later date. So, as I always mention with my student for programming subject, so comment is actually for the developer to understand the code. So, when you want to have a very complex system, you want to develop a very complex system, so you need to have a very good comments for the user, for the developer to understand much better. Okay, so as usual, comments are ignored by the JavaScript, okay, and have no effect on the speed of your processes. Okay, so it is not for the user. Comment is for the developer to see. Okay, so how you write? So actually we have 2 ways. Okay, we have single comments and we have multiple line comments. Okay, for single line comments, okay, you use the backslash. Okay, 2 slashes, right? Okay, and then you can also use class HTML comment format. Okay, like this. Okay, with the inside the JavaScript. Okay, for multiple lines, okay, you can use the slash asterisk. Okay, start and then close with the asterisk slash, right? So this is example where you can use the green color is the comment. So basically, if you use the Notepad++, for example, the editor, so when you write the comment, so it will make your line green color, okay, something like this. So it will ignore, or it will not appear on your browser when you view in the browser. Okay, for example, var x equal to 5. Okay, then this is a comment. Okay, and then this one also you hidden var x equal to 6. You comment the scripting, so also this code will not appear in the browser. Okay, next. Alright, we look at the keywords. What is keywords in JavaScript? So you have learned before this the programming language. So actually it is same as other programming language where we have the keywords. Okay, so keywords is actually sometimes we call that as a reserved words. Okay, so this one is used in the code, so you cannot use as a name for the variables. So for example, keywords that we have in JavaScript: break, continue, debugger, do while, okay, function, if else, return, switch. So we will go through this one. Okay, once we will learn the details for the each of the functions or the structure of the JavaScript language. Okay, so what is Java values? Okay, JS is short form for JavaScript. Okay, what is JavaScript values that we have? So basically we have two types of values, okay, which is the fixed values and also variable values. So JavaScript class is actually slightly different in terms of the variables or the values, okay, that read. So it is very JavaScript, we can say that it is not very strict in terms of the variables. Okay, for example, if you say that if you assign, okay, for example, var x, okay, x equal to 6, so you assign, so it will become the number here. But if you assign x equal to double quote 6, means that it is a string. Okay, so it also assigned to the string. So we have two, okay, which is fixed values, we call that literal. Okay, variables values, we call that variables. So what is the difference? JavaScript literals, we also have the numbers written with or without decimal. Okay, while for the string are text within double quotation or single quotation. Okay, while for the JavaScript variables in programming language used to store data values. Okay, so how you declare? So we use the var keyword, var, okay, to declare the variables. Okay, and then how you assign? So equal assign to assign the values. Okay, I will show you later the details how to do the assignment. Okay, so in JavaScript class, if you look at the example here, we have the semicolon at the end of the statement. Okay, so you put the semicolon, right? So for example, var a, comma b, comma c, so semicolon. So means that you declare three variables here, which is variable name a, variable name b, variable name c. Okay, and then you have a equal to 5, means that you assign the value 5 to a. Okay, while b equal to 6 means that you assign b, okay, to value with value 6. Okay, and then we have the sum of a and b. Okay, c equal to a plus b means that sum of a plus b. So what is the value here? So a 5, okay, plus b 6. So c supposedly 11. Okay, so when separated by semicolons, multiple statements on one line are allowed. Okay, for example, you can have a equal to 5 semicolon, okay, b equal to 6 semicolon. Okay, you can have in one line, even though it is actually different statements. Okay, okay, means that you can continue. Okay, after semicolon you can continue with the other code. Okay, and in JavaScript we can also have the white space. Okay, so it will ignore the multiple spaces. For example, okay, var person equal to hege. Okay, so you can have space or without space here. So it is a good practice to put the space in the between of operators and also the operands, because it is readable. Okay, user can read the code, or not user, the developer can read the code quite easy. Okay, and then can reduce the mistake. Okay, next we look at the JavaScript variables. Okay, so variables, what is the purpose of variables? Okay, I think you know because you have learned before this the programming language. Okay, you have learned Java, C++. Okay, the function of variables is to store the data. Okay, so you want to have values, and then that values you want to save and you want to use for the operation. So variable is a container for information you want to store. Container means that you want to put that value inside the container. Okay, that is the purpose of variables. So a variable's value can change during the script. Okay, this one is very dynamic for the JavaScript. So it is not same as the other programming language concept, because for example in C++, once you have declared data type integer, so you cannot change that as a other data type. But in JavaScript you can change that quite easy. Okay, later I will show you how. Okay, how you design or how you create a variable's name. So the rules are same for the same as other programming language. So for example, so variable names are sensitive. Okay, so A uppercase and A lowercase is not same. Okay, for example this one, str name and then str name, this is not same. This is two different variable names. Okay, and then can contain any letter of the alphabet. Okay, and using the underscore characters, but you cannot use special symbol or reserved word. Okay, you cannot have spaces in the between of the characters. For example, you want to have student name. Okay, so you need to use student name in one word. Okay, or you can combine it using the underscore. Okay, no punctuation characters, comma, full stop, okay, in the variable's name. Okay, and then the first character or starting point of your variable name cannot start with a digit or the number. Okay. Okay, so this is the variable types that we have. Actually same as the programming. So you can have numbers. Okay, you can have strings. You can have boolean values. Okay, so boolean is for the true or false. Okay, and then for the string, okay, for example, you have the 1.234. Okay, this is the number. Okay, but if you have the double quote 1, 2, 3, 4, so this is the string values. Okay. Okay, for example, 1 plus 2 equal to 3. So 1 plus 2 is a number, right? So you can sum the number. So it becomes 3. Okay, A plus B. Okay, so it is a string. So it combined will become AB. Okay, 1 plus 2, when you have the double quote or single quote, it becomes the string values. So you cannot add the values become 3, but you need to put 1, 2. Okay, because that is the string values. Okay, so how you do the variable assignment? So this is same as other programming language. Okay, where you can have the using the assignment operator here. Okay, or symbols. Num browser version equal to 1.5.5. Okay, or you can have the compound assignment. Okay, plus equal, so means that num total equal to num total plus 33. Okay, and then you can also have something like this. Okay, in JavaScript you can have 3 different as I mentioned, it is in terms of data type is very flexible. Okay, so the first one is message hello is a string. Okay, goodbye is a string. The message tree is a number. Okay. Okay, note that the last 3 examples show the variable values can be altered after their initial assignment, and also that the data type of value stored in a variable can be altered in a similar manner. Okay, so this is a JavaScript, so you must be careful in this, especially in terms of how you get the output. Okay. Alright, so this is another example. Okay, where you can have, okay, for example, I use alert. So alert is one of the output statement for the JavaScript. Okay, so you have message equal to hello world. So alert message, so means that alert. Okay, and then you want to display the hello world in the alert box. Okay. Okay, but this is different. When you have alert, double quote message, so means that you want to display the value message, not the not the value message, you want to display the word message. Okay, this one will display the word message, but this one will display the hello world. Okay, and then okay, look carefully on this example. Okay, so this is as I mentioned, how you can difference the string and also the number. Okay, for the first assignment statement, A equal to 12. Okay, then we have B equal to 13. Then we have C equal to A plus B. So what is the output here? So we have A plus B means that 25. Okay, because this is all the numbers. Okay, next line, we have C plus equal to A. So means that C equal to C plus A. So what is the value C before this? 25. What is the value A? 12. So 25 plus 12 is 37. Okay, now we have C equal to B plus hello. Okay, so C equal to B. What is B here? 13 plus hello. So hello here is the double quote. Okay, double quote means a string. So you display the output is 13 space hello. Okay. Alright, so JavaScript is smart enough to realize that a number cannot be added to a string in a numerical sense. So it convert the number to the string and perform a concatenation. Okay, it combine. Concat is combine the string. Okay. Okay, next. Alright, so how you declare your variable? So using the var keyword, var. So you use the variable name. For example, we have var car name. Okay, and then you want to assign car name equal to Volvo. So means that you have the Volvo value. So after the declaration, the variable has no value. So after declaration means that car name undefined, there is no value. But once you assign the value, it will save the value in the car name container. So you can also assign to a value to variable when you declare it. So you can have also the assign, declaration and assignment statement in one line. Okay. Okay, so one statement, many variables. Okay. Okay, so you can have multiple variables in one declaration for using the comma. Okay, separate by comma. For example, var person equal to John Doe, comma, car name equal to Volvo, comma, price equal to 200. So if you look at this one, okay, since the declaration there is in JavaScript there is no data type, so you can combine all data types in one declaration. So you can have integer, you can have a float, you can have a string. Okay, and also you can have declarations in multiple lines. So for example, var person, car name, and then price, and then end with the semicolon. Okay, so comma, comma, semicolon at the end. Okay, so as I mentioned, when you declare the variable, so it will automatically have the undefined values. Okay, if you don't assign the values, so it will give the undefined. So for example, here you have var car name, and then you want to display the car name here, but you don't have the value yet. So what happened? In the browser, it will display undefined output. Okay, not the error, just undefined. Okay, and then also in JavaScript, you can redeclaring the JavaScript variable, so it will not lose its value. Okay, for example, car name. Okay, so you have var car name equal to Volvo. You have declared and assigned, so means that in your container you have Volvo values. The next line, you declare again the var car name. So what happened to the Volvo values? Is it replaced, or is it removed, or is it deleted? Okay, so the value still have in the container. Okay, so the Volvo still have. So unless you have the next statement that assign to the new value, so then the Volvo will replace. Okay, I hope you understand this part. Alright, okay, now we look at the JavaScript here. Okay, this is a JavaScript arithmetic. Okay, so as mentioned, this part is quite not difficult but tricky, because when you have a multiple data type or variables type. Okay, for example, okay, when you have numbers, it's quite easy. You just have addition or subtraction, okay, multiplication, division. Okay, so in this case, var x equal to 5 plus 2 plus 3. So the output will be 10. Okay, correct. Okay, and then you can also add string, okay, using concatenation, okay, plus, symbol plus concat. Okay, for example, something like this, John plus, okay, this is space plus do. So when you display X, it will display John space do. Okay, something like this. Okay, okay, another example when you have, okay, string, okay, 5 is string, okay, 5 is string, and then plus 2 number plus 3 number. So what is the value here? Okay, it will become 5 to 3. Okay, why? Why it not 5? Okay, because if you put a number in quotes, the rest of number will be treated as string and concat. So please be careful with this, okay? So if you put the first value here is the string, so the rest will be the string. So that's why the output is 5 to 3, not 5. Okay? So 2 plus 3 is not, it will not add the values. You just display back the value. And then it is contra with this example where you have 2 plus 3 plus 5. 5 which is the string. Okay, this is number, and then this is string. So that's why the output is 5, 5. Okay. So please look carefully on this, okay, especially when we do exercise on the tracing output in the JavaScript. Okay, so this is a tricky one in JavaScript. Okay, and then class, we have the escape sequence. Okay, so we have the escape sequence. What is escape sequence? We have new line slash backslash new line, okay, backslash tr and so on. Okay, so you can try to use this. Okay, how you can use in your JavaScript language. Okay, and then we have the output operation. So basically we have 4 types. Okay, using document.write, which is this one is a very common one. Okay, how you use, you use document.write. So be careful class, JavaScript you must follow the syntax, okay, because it is case sensitive. So it is all the small caps, so you must use the small. Okay, inside the bracket, document.write is the values or the variables that you want to have. Okay, okay, and then we have the window.alert or alert. Okay, you can have window.alert or alert, something like this. Okay, and then you have console.log. Okay, so this is how you use. Okay, then you use in HTML. So basically this number 1 and number 4 is a common output operation that we use. Okay, so in HTML, document.getElement by ID. So demo dot, okay, in HTML. So what you want to have, you want to plus 5 plus 6. You want to display the value 6, which is the output will be the 11. Alright, next. Okay, we look at the examples here. Okay, this is the complete example. So as I mentioned, okay, how you write, okay, your JavaScript, where you write your JavaScript. So you can put inside your HTML file. Okay, you save as HTML file. You can put inside your body, or you can put inside your head. Okay, so basically this is a two location that you can put your JavaScript. Okay, you must start with the script. Okay, script, and then end with the script. Okay, in the between, this is all the JavaScript code. Okay, so if you want to have the JavaScript code, you must have the start script and end script. Okay, okay, so you look. Okay, we try to understand all the JavaScript code here. So we have the var, so means that this is a variable. How many variables that we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we do not know what is the variable type yet unless you assign. Okay, so earning jobs 1 is the number, earning job 2 is the number, and then total for the week, of course we want to total the number, so means that you have the numbers. Okay, decimal. Okay, what is document write? So you want to display the output. Is this same as system.out.println in Java or cout in the C++? Okay, so how you display? So when you have double quote means that it is a string. You want to display the string or the message or the values. Okay, so I want to display the salaries. Okay, the next one is job 1. So P, what is P? P is the HTML, right? So P, you can have HTML also in your Java. Okay, so this is how you use, right? Okay, and then you have job 1. Okay, and then you have the $sign. So that is the string. Okay, earning job. So there is no double quote. What is the meaning earning job? So you want to display the value of the variables. So what is the value of variable earnings job 1? Here we have 325.38. Okay, and then you have break BR. So BR is the HTML language you put inside your JavaScript. Okay, the next line you have job 2. Also the double quote means that you want to display the job 2 message. Okay, the next line is the variables value. So what is the value? 580.64. Okay. Okay, the next line, okay, you have document.write. Okay, this is a line left. Okay, with, okay, this is the HTML. Okay, and then we have total. Okay, total for the week. So how you can have string and also the variable together, same as the Java, where you have double quote and then you use concat. Okay, plus. Okay, and then you want to display the values of the variable. So what is total for the week? So total for the week is combination or addition for the earnings job 1 plus earnings job 2. So you just plus these two values. Okay, what is the output here? So 906.02. So basically this is the examples of the complete very basic JavaScript. Okay, and then how you can use JavaScript in the HTML. Okay, the other way you can also have, okay, you can save this file as a JS. Okay, and then you call inside the HTML. Okay, which is, I think that is quite difficult. So you can just use the JavaScript in the HTML directly. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. So that is the introduction to JavaScript language, okay, which is the client-side scripting language. So next, we will learn more on the what is a JavaScript in terms of the structure. Okay, very basic structure, very complete or complex structure of the JavaScript. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.